Great play from the player.
Always reliable when you need a clutch factor. On Fire did catch out Aim God. With Ffws now in the conversation, I think between Kochu and Ikao, there is going to be that minor friendly contest to see who is worthy of a slot, right?
Yeah.
I think obviously the fans will say Kochu because he has been there the entire way. But it's nice because I did have this discussion on FFMIC, I believe yesterday with Arca, about whether a team should stick with a main four or have a substitute.
Yeah.
I think we get to see that play out for Ffws.
Absolutely. And speaking of Ffws, up against Falcons here, this is going to be a tough one for Kochil. Gets tagged up. Porpor makes one mistake, but recovers with the glue wall and more on life. VSK straight to the chest. Kochil taken.
They do run into the compound where BTR are at. And BTR early on did suffer some heavy damage against Magna. Let's see if the second Malaysian team can do the same.
They have a great position here. Kenshin, it's all about him and his VSK. If he can find the flank, then Bigatron by Vitality might just be smashed right here, right now. Ryu finds the Bison headshot. Dix does find the trade, though. Ryu taken out of the equation. Raja too far away for the trade, and they choose to not step in and challenge the player's trade head on, but instead flanking around from the right-hand side. Mikata runs straight into the vending machine. Quick fingers will bring Ryu back in. That's the insurance policy, but this is just esports Putrajaya playing for survival and not looking for elimination points.
Raja takes out Kyung, but no confirmation there. So BTR, they get themselves 2 points, 3 points in fact. But
yeah, I mean, two monsters, both collapsing on esports Putrajaya, both sharing points between themselves, and the Malaysian squad just has got one final survivor. Porpor finds Sibeng, and yeah, Porpor is definitely not potato. He's just Porpor. The guy just hasn't played all that too much, but has been around the professional circuit for quite a little while, and on fire, flanking around with the M590, finds one beautiful shot and follows it up with another. The rest of the players on the side of Bigatron just scramble at the sight of on fire.
to get your hands on them.
No better way to Booyah in style, Jun. Beautiful shot to the foot and then straight to the chest. Virus with a VSK. Takes him out, and Magna, that's just the best shot. Yezu is going to get caught out as well. The Valiant dash just to confuse them. But since they had the numbers and the 180 easy flick by Jans, Magna finds another player on the side of Vamos. And that's what we talked about earlier on. The recovery just has not been kind to the Malaysian squad.
And we saw the double riptide rhythm from outside as well. Those blue walls are going to get blasted down. The Bas in danger, and Exposito will bail him out. Vayback's removed from the fight. Twisted Minds have a free entry in. Next on the list is Aim God, and Ffws Divine just have to concede.
Yes. Jump with the standby for action to start on the other side. MBR in front of Bigatron by Vitality. Wrong spot to jump on into. They didn't scan the area with the binoculars, and they might just pay a big price for it. Rafaela down on the ground. Sibeng with the M82B penetrating behind those glue walls. Time to call down. And MBR with the perfect save off of the chrono.
And just like that, BTR might have found a lifeline here. So MBR's glue wall will keep them alive for now. Sibeng just needs a couple of good ones. They are all at quite the dangerous spot, and Sibeng finally connects a knockdown. Make it 2, and Sibeng is coming alive, and Koja wants to join the party. Farah bleeds out to the blue, and a complete wipeout for MBR.
The M82B is a monster in the right hands. Those glue walls meant to protect it. Absolutely nothing up against the gun. And Bigatron by Vitality. Beautiful stuff out there. Vamos finally taken out of the equation, and now the Falcon Hunters being hunted down by the Falcons themselves.
Secret WAG could completely dodge the conflict, and Moshi, he's taking heavy fire. High chances from PE.
Yeah, it's PLS1 up on top of the roof with the AWM in hand. 9-7 now, circling around. Getnas about to be trapped in here. M590 up against Get High, and he stood no chance. Moshi smashed at the same time as well. Tikui with the double. Fine WAG here, but the pressure from PE will keep them safe behind those windows. Circle squeezing everyone in little by little, and that's going to leave Kyung high and dry outside the zone, and he's going to perish most probably, as he has got no way to step on into the next zone. Porpor knocked down, it's Kyung! But finally the circle does its job.
A parting gift for Porpor, but unfortunately doesn't have enough time or ammunition to complete the task. It did stall Falcons out for a little while, and now they have to take the launch pad towards the compound nearby. Great glue wall coverage, and Falcons with a clear rotation to safety.
That was a perfect landing there with multiple glue walls set up and nobody could touch them even though they could see exactly what they were up to. PLS1 fantastic shot onto Boom and he makes sure he gets the confirmation as well. Magna collapsing into Onyx, but it's Onyx is the one that is taking the majority of the damage from the circle, and now it's Crime that leaves the rest of Magna outside, and it is Esports Putrajaya that deals with Crime, and Magna hopping on in trying to third party that situation, but the distraction just wasn't enough and Magna might be in trouble. Evos on the other hand eliminated already.
It feels like the Hunger Games with Secret WAG being the judge, jury, and executioner on the high ground. They get to do whatever they want, and PE Sports, they've had enough of it. They're going to vote for the high ground as well. So both the enemy's teams have the vantage point to get as much points as possible.
Oh man, this is just on fire right now, but finally gets knocked down to the ground. Twisted Minds is out. Falcons potentially going to get taken out of the equation here as well. Still within the circle. WAG finally shuts down Magna and the Malaysians plays. 4 more teams left in here, 2 from Vietnam. Secret WAG and PE Sports looking strong to walk away with that Booyah, but you cannot allow Falcons to find that recovery because you know they're going to be the biggest threat.
The infighting between the Vietnamese might just be the window that Falcons need to get this game in their favor. Esports Putrajaya with the backstab onto Secret WAG after they've had possession of the high ground for so long. Now opens the game up for Falcons to swoop in for the potential Booyah.
And Falcons now slowly flanking around from the left. Pina with the grenade as well, looking for Mikacha. Kenshin has been found, but Pina blocks it away with a good glue wall. Mikacha's defenses gets broken down. Nobody's taking him down just yet. On Fire does manage to find that one connection. Drew stepping into the time turner, but he will not be able to survive the oncoming On Fire, who gets a double for himself. Make that a triple. On Fire, truly on fire right now on the CQCs. And Falcons cleaning up house. Not a record-breaking game, but definitely a shattering one as Falcons grabs Booyah #1 as suspected by Husky. Be effective, but with the addition of Porpor, I feel like Falcons have just taken the battle to a whole other level. And for the first time, I'm actually not seeing much of Limit X7. Porpor out there, it's not too much of fun where you stop focusing on your strategies. The strategies on the side of MBR looking solid at this point of time. But Fancy now, VSS in hand, On Fire trying to flank around his left. With the P90 in hand, Fancy starts off with the shots and now On Fire exposes himself to Bara as well. This is a big potential here for On Fire to get smashed down, and he does get knocked down to the ground. Fancy, beautiful stuff from him, and the rest of Falcons can't seem to recover this situation. Pina now too far out in front, and it looks like he's going to get taken down as well unless Limit and Porpor can do something.
That was a lost cause from the beginning. We even saw On Fire slow down right beside the bus where I believe Fancy Z was hiding behind. And Refila might have a chance as well. Oh, he doesn't see him. But the glue wall plays right at the right time. Porpor, one of the newer additions to the team now, has his first test. A 1v1 Mini Uzi in Rafaela's hands, but he's going to take a stealth bite and get out of there.
Man, if Rafaela had a sniper on him at that point of time, Porpor would have been down. Falcons could have stood a chance of getting eliminated from this lobby too early. And speaking of Rafaela, he just, again, does not have the right gun. And up against Limit, it was not going to be easy at all. But Limit now shut down from afar. The shot's perfect from Bara. Porpor waiting for Limit to expire and instantly buys him back.
Fantasy doing another great job. First the backstab onto On Fire and then the trade onto Limit. But Falcons, they do have control of the vending machine, and MBR understands that, so they are going to evacuate from this area, as a long drawn-out fight will only add to their problems. Falcons, they walk away with 1, and MBR gets 2. Meanwhile, BRU cleaning up house. That's Moshi with 3 already. And Evil's Divine standing no chance, will have to get out of there.
Yeah, Moshi's clearly pissed off after the previous game. They're starting off this match a little bit quick. But he might want to calm down. The driving is a tad bit off there.
You gotta hold your horses sometimes. Onyx against BTR at building. But Onyx, they don't really commit the full squad. Secret WAG might have a chance to capitalize off of this. And Pum and Sibang are off in the wayside. It's Demons in a 1v2, but it's gonna be a 1v5 if Secret WAG hops in the building. Reinforcements arrive, and WAG are going in for the rush.
Yeah, PLS1's just on fire at that point of time. And now Tikui buys it in hand. Kyung stood no chance. Bigatron by Vitality.
Oh.
Thank God they swapped out my prediction.
The CQC, and even when they're outnumbered, Jump and the Bars will be on one side, and Diamond, he might have a flank angle.
It's all about Virus here. If he can handle Diamond, I think this is a battle that Magna can win. If Diamond wins out this battle, this is a GG for them. Virus needs it. Jump already laid down to the ground, but it's X-Posse that helps out from afar. Diamond does not go down. The best finds Jans as well. Yep, this play is going to break Magna apart for sure. Alif trying his best to get away. Diamond with the Car 98 will not be able to smash down those glue walls, and the chase is going to be a tad bit slow as PE Sport shows up out of nowhere.
In the lightning zone as well. No, Magna escapes by the Falcons as they only have a single elimination so far. 8 minutes in. The Indonesians about to clash. It's the veterans against the newcomers. Evos against MBR. A full rush into the building. The utilities are good. Joker and Fanteezy, they have been fantastic for the earlier parts of the game, and the conversion is immediate. Evos didn't really stand a chance there.
Oh, that's it. Evos is done here. Faiz is caught out, and boom, with the shots. But it is Kenshin that sneaks that away. Esports Putrajaya. I'm up on top, but Limit keeping an eye on him.
And Ryu's position is very important. In fact, he pushes out of the compound. They want to really force the Falcons out of this area, and Ryu good on that, but on fire will find a trade onto Mikacha. Actually gets tagged from afar, but still not down just yet. With Pina coming to reinforce, Falcons will trade 1 for 2. Popo, what was that shot? Raja gets removed, and Falcons coming out on top.
I don't want to say I told you so, Husky, but I told you so, man. Limit barely needs to do much when Porpor is on fire, and Porpor has not been snuffed out just yet by anybody. On fire now, can he stop it? No, he can't. Great glue wall plays here by Kenshin, and he brings in a triple revive for Esports Putrajaya. That was the best play from Esports Putrajaya so far.
A lifeline for EP, but 4 big points for Falcons. Twisted Minds removed off screen by...
A rough one for Esports Putrajaya. And I see a couple of more players from their side getting tagged up as well. It could just be the circle doing a number on them, and Falcons out of nowhere. PE, what? How did we not see that?
Oh, that was unfortunate for PE. I think they were just focused on duck hunting and didn't know that Falcons were nearby. I was just about to point out that PE were the only team with double-digit eliminations. That Nat is 100% going to get overtaken by Falcons if they keep up this performance. But Falcons will now make their move. Porpor into the stealth bites to tag along his team. No one actually knows where Falcons is at right now. This low ground actually gives them great cover against some of the teams in front of them, and Vamos will find out.
I just want to highlight again, that was a beautiful rotation from Onyx, just pelting down the team with all of those ice grenades and everything in their utility box, just so that they'll be distracted enough so they can take a better, safer spot for themselves on that rotation. And Onyx survives just because of that, and they will also have the grace of the movement for this next circle. Riptide Rhythm from afar, breaking down the defenses right in front of Buriram. Vamos taken out of the equation, and the players on the side of MBR falling one after the other to the players of Falcons. WAG shutting down Buriram, but the pickups are there. Tikui puts down Moshi, one after the other. They're dropped, picked right back up, but I feel like WAG's gotten the job done already. There's just no more recovery as Captain Jonah has to bail.
Look, someone gotta check Popor, man. He just got a twofer again. Finally, one of their members is knocked down, and that's gonna be Limit. But so far, Limit hasn't really been needed or required to show his 100% because Popor is going above and beyond for the team. And Falcons were in the worst possible spot. They were sandwiched by Vamos earlier on, but they made it out of that situation and now find themselves in the best possible spot as long as they can avoid Secret WAG.
Can Falcons go for a back-to-back Booyah here? Shot from up top. WAG wants to personally make sure that does not happen. Limit taken out of the equation already, but the more dangerous Pawpaw is still alive and kicking. Can they get the pickup here? Yes, they can. 3-man strong for the side of Falcons, and all of those beefed-up blue walls are going to keep them safe for the time being. They're right behind Onyx here. Onyx understands that. It's all about the timing. WAG will catch Onyx as Onyx tries to get away from Falcons. Falcons force them out of the defense, and it's WAG that takes advantage.
Yeah, Falcons trying to split up and look for some high ground access, but they don't have the room for it. Before Pung went down, he actually knock Nan down, so that will buy some time for Falcons, but it is still a 4v3 in favor of Secret WAG.
And it's all because Secret WAG took Limit out first. The preemptive strike nerfed the chances of Falcons from walking away with that Booyah on this match for sure.
Taking their vehicle out. What is this play? Oh, they're redirecting. They're going to make it to the boulder behind.
Wow.
They stay safe as well, but they let Popor there. If Secret WAG, they might not know about this because the blue zone is preventing any entry, but he got spotted out by T-Quay. Great stuff checking the corner, and now the superstar is out.
Now 2 more players here on the side of Falcons. The 4 on the side of Secret WAG, pushing on fourth. Wang Am with the God nade, but on fire with the headshot. T-Quay taken down already, but the instant pickup and the electrotherapy gets Falcons down on the ground. WAG just needs one more shot to connect, and it's T-Quay that pulls the double. With 17 eliminations strong, it's Secret WAG. Their understanding that survivability is a crucial aspect out there in a savage lobby like this.
And you need an enabler, and the enabler in this case is going to be
standing. On the other hand, the question is Vamos sit down at the bottom? The answer is no. Vamos actually takes a small step up. It's Evos now.
He is in the clear. BTR out of that compound, and PE Sports gets another chance. Can't say the same for Esports Putrajaya as they are about to encounter BRU. Wassana right onto the high ground. And just great instincts to find Raja out in the open. Time turner drop and another glue wall, but a flank from Getna confirms that. And it's 7 points for BRU.
A beautiful response by Raja though in that situation. I feel like mechanically he did the right things. Just unfortunate he had to go up against 2 players. There was a 1v1. There's a potential there that Raja could have handled Wassana on his own. And that's a great big respect to give to a fight. That's unfair, bro.
Primary school technique sometimes still works, you know, the good old technique of bringing more friends. You can't win the 1v1, make it a 2v1. And in this case, it's a 4v2 as the members of Secret WAG double what Twisted Minds has in the front line that will allow them to get the initial knockdowns. And Twisted Minds quickly realizes that this is not their fight anymore. Diamond cannot get out of there, and Exposy forced to run away on foot.
Oh my god.
The elimination. Twisted Minds wiped out in 12th.
Yeah, but a very good play off of Secret WAG. That was lethal, that was precise. They executed it with perfection. And now Falcons driving straight into their compound. The fight is not over for Secret WAG just yet. They just managed to loot up their opponent's Twisted Minds. But can they shut down Falcons? Limit X7, Car98, up close and personal takes Wang Am out of the equation. T-Quay can't run away anywhere just yet. You also saw Popo up on top of the hill. So that's going to be a big danger for WAG as they try to exit this compound.
Pina taking out one of the spear of Secret WAG. Pina does it again. PRS1 able to find the exchange there, but Falcons are not backing down with Popor to fill in the void. Pina will perish though, thanks to the Raphael of PLS1. So Falcons not entirely out in the clear. They did have to suffer 1 casualty, but in the grand scheme of things, they are the ones that came out on top.
Required to take Falcons out of the equation. Because when they're cool, calm, collected, not a lot of pressure, I think they're just way too dangerous for the other teams to deal with. Maybe a little bit of distraction can help. WAG, unfortunately, does not get to enter the circle. 8 kept to their doom. LBT, beautiful value dash finds Axel! And the rest of the Vamos players are just scrambling, running away from him. LBT still alive. How can that happen? Narrow with the follow-up on the Mac-10. Vamos took no shots and they all perish in the hands of PE.
Clearly unprepared for what PE has in store. LBT completely just body slammed them with the Valiant Dash. And I said, no resistance at all. Let's see if Esports Putrajaya can...
PE great on that play, but not a lot of numbers now on their side. MBR, on the other hand, stuck in a tight little corner, looking to see if or not they can engage with the Onyx players. They break down their own defenses, and now they're inside of the zone. Esports Putrajaya taken out as well. The chaos has ensued. And look at Falcons avoiding a majority of that chaos, just taking on a small fishing mark now.
The Popor is actually down, and they can't get to him just yet, so the rest of Falcons will have to somehow wiggle their way out of this. But by getting rid of Getbu, Limit finds an opening in to get Popo back up on his feet. Now they have to survive the blue. Like earlier on, Esports Putrajaya, actually the whole team, I believe, drowned. So really makes you wonder what the rotation idea was. The same happened to Onyx Olympus, but Falcons now get to gatekeep the rotation, the escape route of Magna. Jans actually tried to fight this. Are you insane? Because Pina got that one. Virus was able to get 2 in return on Fire and Pina on the ground, but Olive will have to do everything on his own. Finds Pawpaw, but ends up getting wiped out anyways.
There's a big play there. You thought it was a small fish, and the small fish just happened to be a big shark. Actually, they're quite, the
piranhas.
opposite. They are, in fact, a different species altogether. They're cats. They're big cats.
They're
but it's
cats.
okay. We'll talk about that later. Falcons out, finally. No supercharged game for them, but there's nothing that they cannot recover from later on. Buriram still alive and kicking, looking for the points. Riptide Rhythm sent out. But it breaks down the defenses a tad bit too slow here, allowing still MBR to find the recovery behind their time turner. It was that A124 that locked them down first. Question is, where did the thrill of battle come from? Because we didn't see the MBR players pop that earlier on. And now the counterplay for them is just to try to break down the defenses of Buriram, but they're not really aggressive on fourth. MBR knows they want the next circle and they have to focus on the rotations first.
Yeah, one of the few rounds, the rare circumstances where no team have control of the circle at all because they were basically all centered around in the middle. But with the top 2 teams already out from this lobby, it is high time for teams like PE, for BRU to catch up in points. And for MBR, they will have to face the music of BRU.
Let's see those glue wall melters. Again, time turner. Maybe too premature this time around. Buriram. This is their rechal up against MBR, and the follow-up from Moshi after the Riptide Rhythm was perfect on that AWM. Wassana in the thick of the action, running behind enemy lines, fighting Rafaela as well, alongside Getna. But they need this instant pickup right here, right now. Wassana down on the ground. They do have the electrotherapy available on their side, and Wassana will quickly recover after that pickup. Getna gets to him quick enough, and Buriram continue their rotation towards this next zone.
Part of me thought that they would actually go from the low ground, but no, they're gonna charge right up and take out Onyx as well. As only Poom was left, Evos now have to make that rotation, but it's a bit late, so they will sustain some damage from the blue. Have to run straight into BTR, PE out in the open, and BRU controls the circle.
Evos still alive and kicking. Come on, Evos. But nah, don't do it, Buriram. They are my prediction. They do have the M79. Use it! Nah, they perished before they could. And now Buriram with the numbers advantage. It's a 4v2. LPT, can you pull another Snorlax body slam? Moshi says, don't you even dream. C1 down, Getna finds LPT, and Buriram finally with a Booyah on this second day of play.
Some of the toughest situations in the games that we've seen them play in.
So it's crazy that you have got Jonah running a full active-passive combination for a sniper, and it is Moshi that kind of skews off a little bit, bringing in the Suzy on his side. Just their average points have been 22.5. They just got 25 points. So they're still above their average.
Yep, 25 points, puts them at 80 points. I mean, they're eliminated.
Actually manages to get behind the sandbags, and that is going to be a little bit of a stalemate for now. Meanwhile, at Grab Labs, you got Ffws versus Vamos Esports, and Ezreal draws first blood.
And I always have this firm belief that teams who are willing to drop at Grab Labs, especially hot drop at Grab Labs, are teams who have no regard for a dice roll, right? Because the Grab Lab, if you drop them in Grab Labs and you try to start an early fight, not everything, all cards are off the table, right? Especially when you fight in the internal structure where there's very low gravity, the Vamos need to find a way to wriggle out of this spot. MBR arriving at the scene.
Yeah, the team that Vamos were initially fighting have escaped. So now they have a new opponent, and that's gonna be Mapa Esports. I'm sorry, that's gonna be MBR. Good knock by Bara. Plenty of cover provided by Rafaela as well from the high ground, but they still need to find a way to convert those knocks into eliminations. And while we are talking about this fight, Esports Putrajaya bite the dust. They become the first team to get eliminated from this game.
Incredibly early exit for one of the Malaysian teams. Can say Magna also about to face the same fate potentially, right? Because they are still exchanging fire with Falcons off screen. Random fires from Evo's Divine arriving at Graph Lab's roof as Team Vamos relocate, but MBR still on the hunt, and that blue wall gives them a very good indicator that there are some Vamos members hiding.
And MBR now looking to isolate Zeus and Ezreal. Flash faces right on top of them. Nades being thrown, being rained upon them. And here comes the dash. Zeus taken out. No retaliation from Vamos Esports as MBR continue to dominate this battle. But their third lurker, Rafaela, the guy who was on the high ground providing cover fire from afar, has
Now, as stragglers from eVos and PE Sports are just out in the wild, Aim God finds an ambush there. LBT gets a knuckle sandwich. eVos finds their fourth.
This could be a fair 2v2 fight. Aim God fighting Bedep. Gets caught off guard, puts up a glue wall just to save his skin in the nick of time. Apex comes through with the backup, but Aim God gets sprayed down by Nero regardless, and Bedep also wins his duel. Meanwhile, EVOS, the players on the other end of the map, are also losing their lives. No matter where they are, no matter whether they're alone or they've got backup, EVOS seems to be struggling down to their last player.
So Apex getting taken down, that was him losing a gunfight, but Aim God? What? A bit of a questionable decision.
Quickly recalibrating his position, and there you go, lovely shot by Diamond. Nero taken out.
Every angle accounted for, even committing the FGL just to make Nero extremely uncomfortable. And Falcons need to make their rotation. They are on that highway, which was spotted out by Secret WAG, but unfortunately no clear shot for the Vietnamese. That's for Limit, and Limit somehow sneaks that one in on the T-Quay. We did highlight Popor making his job easier, but when Limit missed the step up, he absolutely does. Pina also finds one.
Nice two-piece from Limit X7. That vantage point on the bridge might just get him a third one as he spots Huang. Oh, just about gets in cover. So Huang, his life will be spared for now, but On Fire is landing right on top of his head, hoping to finish off what Limit X7 started. And there comes the spray. Another blue wall put up. Huang desperately trying to save his skin, hoping that he can land the jump shot against On Fire. But he's gonna go in for the wide swing. This 1v1 has gone on for way too long. I'm surprised that Falcons hasn't sent in any one of their other players to back On Fire up. But he seems to be handling himself for now. Huang just running around. How on earth is he still alive? He's holding his own until he, of course, gets sprayed down by On Fire finally. So
just in case there's a separate team nearby, but Twisted Minds finds themselves in the nest of BRU. It's just a 3 against 4.
Yeah, the numbers disadvantage really not working out for Twisted Minds. Jump goes down to the throwables, and Moshi steps out just to confirm that elimination. Even Getna puts one right in between Exposi. Oh my lord, this is going from bad to worse, because Buriram seem to be unshakable, and Twisted Minds, just by knocking on those doors, have kicked the Hornet's Nest. And that's what happens when you kick the Hornet's Nest. You get stung, paper cuts in a million pieces.
Some of the bad habits of Twisted Minds rearing its ugly head, especially those rotation. If you're fully relying on Diamond from long range, you don't want to fight into close compound. T-Quay getting LBT, Hong Am onto C-Tuan, Secret WAG, just superior in this fight against PE Sports and making it look easy. The young superstar rusher of the team, T-Quay getting his 5th elim, and PE Sports standing absolutely no chance.
PE Sports succumbing under the pressure, but Nero still holding on to his life. As soon as I said that, BLS1 gets the better of it.
Falcons split into a 2-2 formation. MBR wants to seek for the low ground to avoid line of sight.
Yeah, but as soon as MBR go to the low ground hoping to avoid Falcons, they might just run into Bigatron. It's them being trapped between a rock and a hard place, and they'll soon be put out of their misery. MBR is out. And now that Falcons unquestionably control this high ground, they can use this position to farm up as many eliminations as they want. Yeah, sure, Porpor goes down. That's a cool knock, but it's not going to result in an elimination.
A more fair fighting position with the other teams. On Fire remove Secret WAG from this lobby, and Onyx Olympus now forced to spring into action. Magna on one side, BRU on the other, trying to really force the cross, and Poom dealing some crazy damage. Jonah getting clipped in his feet. Meanwhile, off screen, it is Onyx and Magna getting peppered by Falcons, who are still vulturing for extra points.
Falcons are indiscriminate at this point. They're no longer Falcons. You're right when you say that they are vultures right now. They're preying on everybody. Whether it's Buriram, whether it's Onyx, it doesn't matter who it is in front of them. They will take the shots at anything that moves right now. And they know that there's a bunch of revivals also happening, so they put their eyes to the sky and take down Virus before he can even make landfall.
What was that from Popo? That's gotta be a record shot there. AWM in hand as well. Close range, long range, Popo's got you covered. Jack of all trades, master of all as well. Pina onto G'day. Onyx Olympus might just have to let G'day bleed out at this point. with the blue zone closing in. Onyx Olympus are down to just 3 members. And Falcons, what a strong spot to be in, on top of a nest.
Yeah, the only team that's actually safe from Falcons are gonna be Buriram because they're directly underneath them. So unless Falcons abandon this high ground, they will not be able to take shots at Buriram, but they will definitely be able to make Mapa Esports Club's lives miserable. They try to make that crossing, they try to force the fight against Bigatron, but by the time they get to Bigatron, all of them are so low on health, and Bigatron don't even get anything. They just get 1 elimination. Everything else is just lapped up by Falcons.
It almost feels like one of the events from Squid Games, right? Where the doll sees you, the doll shoots you in this manner. And instead of 1 doll, it's 4 dolls holding the Falcons insignia. BTR, despite being under such heavy surveillance, still managing to keep the whole squad up with 11 eliminations. And BRU continuing to be safe, like you said, but they might have to face the tune of Onyx Olympus and BTR, who will start to get desperate as this circle closes in.
Yeah, they're right. But still, the biggest threat continues to be Falcons. And yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a Squid Games fan, but there is no green light over here. You just have to pray that you don't get shot. Put those glue walls up as quickly as you can and hope that you get safe passage. Buriram now will have a lot of people coming towards them. Onyx and Bigatron also just enjoying the calm before the storm. Taking in their breaths, preparing for the incoming slaughter.
If the circle shift alliance is parallel with the bridge, it will be a godsend for Falcons. Right now, they are going to slowly wriggle their way into the center, but it does seem like they are not going to be lucky throughout the entire way. The Bolt Maker was used, Stormcore out by Porpor again with his senior by his side, Limit X7, starting to pepper the teams out in the open again. On fire, does need some rescue. They bring it back up onto the monster truck. Here they come onto the low ground.
Oh, let's go!
Can they stick the landing? Yes, they do, but Limit will be taken down by Jonah. They put up a barrage of glue walls to bring him back up, and BRU actually takes Limit down again, but now they have no access to Falcons. They gotta deal with Onyx.
Yeah, Falcons basically on X Games right now, getting into the monster truck and climbing on top of that roof, always maintaining the high ground advantage. Meanwhile, Buriram and Bigatron clashing against each other at the bottom, desperate to not get thirded. Meanwhile, Buriram, they still need to get inside that house, or better yet, keep Onyx inside and lock them in over here. The circle has barely any inches remaining. Deeks is just counting on his meds and hoping that the heal battle lets him win this one. Meanwhile, Falcons also might be forced to do the exact same thing. Buriram now knocking the door down, hoping to fight Onyx in that little claustrophobic circle, and everybody is just going down. Get now with the double. Wassana comes through with another elimination as well. The circle is non-existent, and it's just a heal battle right now. It's Porpor versus Buriram Esports. Wassana and Porpor hoping to find each other before they succumb to the blue zone, and Wassana lives through it all.
Back-to-back Booyah for Buriram United.
It's Moshi with the 4k damage that really helps his team lift the Booyah.
You called it earlier on, Crips, that sure, BRU got the Booyah, but you are going to be in contention, at least in the 2nd place for now on the overall leaderboard, but Falcons are pulling ahead.
Vietnam has a chance to shine right now. We got B Esports clashing against Vamos. Nero leading the charge, but while they're focusing on Nero, Vedep lands the first knock against Zeus. Nero jumping around hoping to isolate those fights, but he will not be able to get away. Sichuan comes in to save him, but he also meets his maker. And there you go. B Esports suffering from quite a lot of losses. LPT biting the dust as well. B Esports relegated to just 1 player, but they've done plenty of damage. Vamos Esports were down 2 players, but they managed to buy them back instantly. Ezreal and Zeus back into the fray.
Quick revive as Team Vamos did have possession of the vending machine. For P Esports, let's see if they can wiggle their way out of this. They could borrow G'day showing up and slip into the shadows, but it's easier said than done with Badep caught right in the middle of all things.
Yeah.
Onyx Olympus doesn't seem like they want to kind of overextend into this, and Badep, he survived like the last time we saw him.
Oh no!
Not that lucky. XL finds him with the Bison from the back. There goes PE.
Yeah,
But it's Map now, MBR, Ffws getting some heavy lifting. BTR also wants to join this, and Mark now was like, okay, I'll leave you guys to your own devices as they are out of there. Getbu twisting his ankles a little bit, but they should be able to make a clean getaway with a vehicle available as well. ABAX losing the 1v1 against Deeks, and MBR out in 11s.
Yeah, MBR forced that fight against Mapa Esports Club, losing 3 of their members, and their last player was just taken down. Let's see if Bigatron can...
Boatmaker called in at Mammoth here. Very open grounds. So dangerous fights incoming. Secret WAG will be the one charging towards Eastwood Putrajaya, who have control of the giant skeleton of the Mammoth. That also gives them some long-range opportunities as well, but you have PLS1 in the backline. Secret WAG might find the flank. Mikacha though comes in with the charge buster, completely whiffing the shot. And that is not good. ACAD brought out the hook gun to reposition. Wants to look for an opening, but Secret WAG are just sharper with the execution.
Yeah, Secret WAG are wiping the floor with Esports Putrajaya. They made quick work of this team and instantly eliminate them. That's pretty cool. But now Secret WAG have another target. I don't think they're aware about Mapa Esports Club closing in the distance just yet, but with Alif and Getbu climbing this cliff, I think PLS1 is about to get a nasty surprise.
Let's see if they can get out of this. PLS1, the last person to disengage, but the hook gun will allow them to be a bit more mobile. Virus, with the first shot, doesn't get the knockdown just yet, but it does force PLS1 to basically plant himself right out in the open. Tikoi also getting the same treatment. Magna have the opportunity to shut Secret WAG down right here and now.
Oh, they called in a monster truck to bail PLS1 out of that situation. He is kind of trapped in the open though. Tikoi needs to provide some good sniper cover to get PLS1 to safety, but hey, PLS1 can handle his own. He's already got the knock on to Getbu. And at this point, WAG have the advantage. They can press the attack. They've dealt with the high ground flankers, and most of Mapa Esports Club just need to take down Virus before anyone else can be allowed to escape. There you go, PLS1 gets the knock onto Virus. That's the confirmation they were looking for. And with Mapa Esports Club once again getting the high ground, they will force a close range battle against Huang. Nice shot by PLS1 onto Jans once again. And this guy is just running circles around Mapa Esports Club. Getbu and Aleph thought that they had the advantage, but they've been peppered with all this utility. They're forced to go around the other side of the tent with Huang using his Max 7 to completely wipe out the Mapa Esports Club.
And it's not over yet, because with that fight concluded comes a new challenger. Twisted Minds arrive at the scene. And Secret WAG, battered and bruised, are not in a condition to fight a full 4v4, especially when they are down one member. But Tikoi, unfortunately, will be the target of pursuit for the Bass and Jump as well. They will eventually intercept his pathway and take him out. But Secret WAG are still in the game, but they have to let go of their superstar. BRU now shows up. Mammoth is the hotspot.
Yeah, how many teams are gonna come over here looking for eliminations? This is practically the fifth party. I mean, it would have been the fifth party if the other three teams were alive before them. But now it seems like you got Joanna going in for a massive flank from outside the zone. He's hoping to surprise Twisted Minds over here. But the main fighting force of Buriram Esports have already closed in the distance. They're using the heal UAV as well to make sure that they don't suffer any more losses. And now finally, Joanna reveals his position, gets the knock on to Jump, and that's the cue for the rest of Buriram players to go full sending in. Wassana with a lovely shot, instantly wiping out most of Twisted Minds' forces, and they just need to take care of Diamond. He's trapped, no escape, and even Diamond goes down. A diamond in the rough, finally cut into pieces. Stops Zeus and the Axel in their tracks. But the question is, will he finally reveal himself, or will he get taken down by the Axel first? That was so close.
And Jun made the long trip around the Coliseum, the Council Hall, in fact. Finally gets himself in a position to threaten Onyx Olympus, but the bounce off from the glue wall, very well placed by Crime. Now Vamos will face the challenge. Good day! Getting great support from his teammate. And
wow!
That is exactly the kind of execution we wanted to see. A valiant dash to knock them all down.
That's a rather slow game. They don't need to worry about points. Oh, speaking of slow, look at Onyx Esports. They've just managed to wipe out their opponents in a rather quick fashion, but now they are the ones getting eliminated quickly. Porpor, nice elimination into Gidey. And let's see if Onyx can turn this fight around, because they have taken 2 successful eliminations against Falcons. 2v3 could have been amazing, but Peanut turns the tide. That nade destroys 2 Onyx members instantly, and it's all up to Putra right now. He's running for his life. Hold on though, Peanut completely ignored the turret, and he pays for it with his life, giving Putra some much needed time to get some heals done. but I don't think he can go for the revives right now.
Oh!
He just runs across Porpor using the grapple, hoping to get the angles. Porpor is running around and making sure that he doesn't die quickly. But this gives Putra enough time to jump back up on the roof and get the res onto Crime. And just like that, the opportunity is stolen away. Diamond puts him 6 feet under.
Porpor actually went into the stealth bites and was able to whiz past the surviving members of Onyx. That was quite the big brain play, but unfortunate for Onyx, who felt like they were almost about to recover from a dire situation. But now with Twisted Minds having to face up against BRU, we just took control of ground floor. Let's see if Twisted Minds can manage this, because BRU, they're going to be holding that for as long as possible, and Twisted Minds decided that they will go on the offense instead, but they will start with walling off the ground floor, and BRU just says, you know what, we're going to go second floor, we take out Exposy. Twisted Minds outmaneuvering themselves.
Yeah, bro, they're getting juked really hard, and Wassana is making sure that every single one of these mistakes is punished appropriately. Falcons get eliminated by Bigotron, but this fight, Buriram versus Ffws, has just got another little twist, because Secret WAG also wants a piece of the spy. While Ffws were desperately trying to survive their battle against Twisted Minds and Buriram, you got so many people taking advantage of this one. WAG positioning themselves outside of this compound, making sure that they don't get sandwiched between any of these teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ffws completely trapped out with the open, finished off by PLS1. WAG did had to tuck the tails and run away from Mammoth early on, but fully recovered. Twisted Minds finally removed from the lobby by Ffws. But down to the top 4 team. Ffws basically only have 2 of their members left alive. BRU full control of the compound, where Ffws members are in. Secret WAG, what a shot from Moshi! Unreal stuff with the AWM. He has the Moko as well, so the pings will constantly be there. None somehow still alive and makes it into the safety of the building.
Some really cool maneuvers while keeping themselves alive if they want to get inside this zone.
Look, Crips, the 2 teams we predicted to potentially win this map, they are still in full force. Secret WAG will be challenged first. T-Quake, a big launch pad to get out from that situation, but the rest of Secret WAG are going to be left behind. And BRU looking to overwhelm them. There's Hong Ang already taken out, Nan eliminated. Not really nothing much left for Secret WAG, unfortunately. Down to the Vistage of the superstar PLS1 and T-Quake. Can they make something happen? T-Quake certainly not. PLS1 chased out by Wassana. Moji comes in, dunks on him, and that is Secret WAG gone. But in the midst of that, it will result in BTR getting the Booyah as they were completely uncontested.
BTR had
and I think they didn't get much this game. Take a look at the game standings. Falcons, they walked away with mostly placement points, but just a measly 7.
Yeah, I mean, at least Bigotron were getting into those fights since quite early on. So by the time they got to the final circle, they already had a bunch of eliminations to their name. And because of that,
the plan for Team Vamos, they want PE Sports to walk out into the open so that they can get an advantage with Jun. MEC out with a first blood, I believe, on the tension. Now looking for Ryu as well. Unfortunate infighting there between the Malaysians, and they will find that one. Ryu is the second one to go down as Esports Putrajaya completely disengaged. Should have a nade cooked up, but decides against it.
Oh, meanwhile, back in confinement, Sichuan already down. PE Sports, that loss definitely is gonna hurt them. Vamos Esports on the other hand, they have all 4 of their players alive. And with the vending machine not accessible to PE Sports just yet, they might just have to live with this disadvantage. But whatever these 2 teams are cooking, they better wrap it up quickly, because if they don't, then Falcons will arrive. Last time also they tried to third party in on confinement, but they did not get a single elimination. I'm sure they're gonna fix things around this time as they start off by eliminating the Axel.
Contrary to the previous round where Falcons a bit too overzealous, this time they readjust their approach. That will be Porpor getting his first 2. Jun spotted out, being able to buy it in hand to go on the chase. The glue wall will buy a bit of time for Jun, but he knows that he's completely trapped. Even for Magna, getting taken out by Twisted Minds off screen. Plenty of early skirmishes happening left, right, and center. Azrael, last man alive. Can Falcons get him?
And it's such a shift in the vibe in confinement over here, because you had PE Sports as well as Vamos both taking very measured approaches, both just taking every single step with a second thought. Meanwhile, Falcons Esports just comes in and swoops everybody in. Oh, look at this fight as well. Twisted Minds making short work of Mapa Esports Club. They lost the bus, but they instantly get him back on his feet, and they revive Exposy as well. Oh my lord, lovely connection onto Virus. Can he make it across though? That would be a very difficult fight to recover from. But it seems like PE Sports are also doing their best to recover from this battle against Falcons, because they've already got the elimination onto Pina and on fire. Limit X7, lovely shots connected onto Bidep. And that is PE Sports suffering from yet another loss. But Falcons, having vacated this entire region, have full control over the confinement vending machine, so they can revive their players again.
Unlike the previous round, Falcons this time make good on the opportunities presented, and AimGod doing the exact same thing for Evo's hiding, so Bigatron might just get another freebie.
Yeah, Koja just used his binoculars and discovered that there's at least one player in the vicinity, and that's Ffws. So, if Koja can win that battle, that will be the 8th elimination for Bigatron. But right now, you've got the Bayfront battle, Falcons versus Mapa Esports Club. Porpor just staring daggers at Jans, and Jans finally challenges him out in the open. Both the players forcing the issue. Jans closing in the distance, and oh my lord, the stealth bite's activated. He's trying to juke Jans, but he gets into the car. Oh, he almost tried to dash into Porpor, but Porpor has quick feet, dodges that vehicle assault, and wins his duel. Now, can Virus win his duel against Limit X7? Yes, he does, but instantly gets traded out. So Falcons back at full strength.
Just now we saw them down to just one member. A mass revive came through. Falcons now sitting at 9. A vending machine nearby and some decent economy to work with if needed. A council hall and confinement. These two locations have been the hot spot. Both game 5 and 6. And Alif will try to poke it out of there. But Falcons are going to try and chase him down, because again, knowing Kalahari, so much open area that even if you try to buy distance, there's a very good chance that someone with sharp eyes will be able to spot you, and that it will be the fate for Alif right now as Pina closes in.
Yeah, they even got the hit list on him, so he cannot hide. He can try to run, but it's probably not gonna get him much farther away. He has no choice but to fight and stand his ground, and that's also very difficult when On-Fire is dashing you in the face. Limit X7 providing Overwatch as well.
Southern side. And then rotating right now will free themselves away from the incoming PE and Falcons.
Yeah, they already used the binoculars, so I think Ramos should be pretty safe. They can get inside the zone without much trouble, and they will even have a compound to themselves. But EVOS and Bigatron are clashing hard against each other. You got C-Bank already pushing down Apex into the ground. Confirmation not here yet, but Teeks almost tried to climb up that container. Then he discovers that you got killed right around him. So Kyung will be able to help him out with that as well. And there you go. AimGod also out. Bigatron making quick work of EVOS Divine.
So that's why he did his absolute best and stall as much time as possible. That gave him enough opportunity. Deeks did get the drop on the 2 of the members of Twisted Minds though. Good for one, and Refiala actually steals one of it away, and that's Diamond eliminated. Twisted Minds caught between a rock and a hard place. Containers and sandwiched by 2 different teams. PE Sports opted to go low ground to cut line of sight, and that will put Vamos in the dark, as the Bass and Exposy will be pushed by BTR. But as the glue walls go down, Wassana and Jetna chime in. They will be the one that steals these points away.
I mean, Bigatron didn't even consider that Buriram could be a threat. They were so busy focusing on MBR and Twisted Minds, they forgot that Wassana can wipe them out. But before Bigatron wipe the dust, it is going to be Twisted Mind that get confirmed eliminated. MBR picking up all those points for themselves, and this actually gives them quite a lot of space to work with. Meanwhile, back inside this house, you got PE Esports versus Onyx Esports. PE Esports escaped the battle against Vamos, only to land straight into the crosshairs of Onyx, and Putra is doing God's work over here by getting that elimination onto Bidep. He also wants to get inside the house and get the knock onto Sichuan, but the blue walls are blocking his way. Jump shot from the Axel. No, wait, Axel never made that jump shot. He shot him through the window. So that is the elimination stolen away, and it's all up to LBT. He's hoping that he will be able to survive this onslaught, but there's just way too many players. LBT with a double elimination. He tries his best, but PE Esports go down anyway, and so do Bigatron.
I believe it's a secret WAG with the grenade launcher that took them out, but in the meantime, they also have to deal with BRU, PLS1 against Moshi. They did recover some of the teammates, so the sniper of BRU left all alone. Can he pull off the clutches like he always do? A 1v3 with an AWM in hand. He makes it out into the open first. But Moshi able to find a disengage as the rest of Secret WAG tries to chase him down. Finds a tag on the PLS1, but the finisher was there from the Axo. Team Vamos playing absolute spoilers from long range.
Yeah, they spoiled the game for Buriram. Now they're spoiling the game for Secret WAG. It's just PLS1 left, and he's very vulnerable over there. Either the zone or Vamos Esports should be able to take him down in the next few seconds. So he's just counting down and hoping that he can have some impact before the Axel finally eliminates him. But it doesn't accomplish much. Vamos Esports not only have a lot of eliminations, but they also have a pretty good high ground advantage over here against the Falcons as well as Onyx. Onyx are sharing the same compound with them, but they can't harm a hair on Vamos' head.
Yeah, then it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation.
Onto the left-hand side, and as soon as they step out, everybody's ready to shoot them down. It's like shooting at fish in a battle. Por gets destroyed the moment he takes a step outside that house. Limit X7 and On Fire might just meet the same fate right now, with both Onyx as well as Vamos Esports shooting them down. The Riptide Rhythm also leaves them nothing to work with, and Poom managed to steal one elimination away from Vamos, but he gets punished for it instantly. Down to a 3v2. Onyx Esports desperate to make a change over here, but Crime and G'day will have to fight against overwhelming odds to get inside the zone over here. June gets back into the zone, hoping to find the backstab, and there is Vamos winning their Booyah.
Was possible, but not really sure when Vamos is going to kind of demonstrate that. This game is quite the closure for them. 26 points for absolutely. Let's take a look at the overall standings. Falcons still your team of the day.
Was rather struggling today. And that was just the today standings, so let's see how it impacts the overall standings of the week.